Last December, I saved up all my pennies and I purchased my Blackmagic Cinema Production 4K camera. I thought I was pretty much good to go. Boy, was I wrong. If you have your eye on a fancy 4K camera, make sure you have everything else that you need before you jump into the world of ultra high definition. The first thing, obviously, is a monitor. There's really no sense in spending all of that amazing monies on a fancy 4K camera if you yourself cannot view the native resolution of that camera to edit in. Now, thankfully, the past couple of years, 4K has come down tremendously in price of monitors. But be careful, because there are a lot more to a monitor than just its resolution. For example, this Dell P2415Q monitor is sitting under $400 on Amazon right now. Not 2 years ago, if you said that you could get a 4K monitor for under $1,000, people would laugh in your face. But keep in mind that any 4K monitor at this price point most likely is not going to have more professional things like anything above 30 Hertz. It's not going to be color accurate for, if you're a designer or a colorist. My monitor of choice is the LG 31MU97 4K monster of a monitor. True 17:9 aspect ratio, Adobe RGB 99.5%. That's right, not sRGB like most monitors, actual RGB 99.5%. HDMI Thunderbolt DisplayPort, true 4K of 4096 by 2160, 10-bit color depth, and of course a 60 Hz refresh rate. I truly do not believe that you can find a better 4K monitor anywhere around this price point than this monitor, and holy crap, when I was doing the research, you can get it on Amazon right now for $850. When I first picked this guy up, when it first came out a year or two ago, it was $1,400. So if you are in the market for a around $1,000 4K monitor, this is my top recommendation right here. Next up is the actual computer itself. Now, Jonathan Morrison from TLD has already proven the fact that a MacBook can handle 4K editing in Final Cut Pro, but if you are doing this on a daily basis, or at least enough to where you have your own YouTube channel or film company, whatever, you are going to want something a little bit more than that. Now, I'm not going to say specifically what specs you need, because honestly, they're all over the place. It really just depends on the type of quality of editing you want to do. But for example, my computer and editing rig of choice is the late 2013 Mac Pro, which has a 3.7 gigahertz quad-core Xeon inside, 16 gigs of DDR3 ECC RAM, 256 gigs of storage, dual AMD D300 graphics cards, and I think that's pretty much all the important specs of the computer. And I edit just fine. I can view and scrub through 4K. I usually keep it at about half or a fourth in Adobe Premiere, but watching 4K, having multiple monitors, it handles things just fine. The third and biggest thing when moving into 4K is going to be storage. Starting with in-camera storage, those little 16 and 32 gig SD cards you have are not going to cut it. My camera takes a SSD, a full 2.5-inch SSD, and right now I only have 128 gig in there, which if I'm shooting in the RAW format only gives me about 15 minutes of record time. In ProRes, it gives me about 30 minutes of record time. So if I was out all day constantly shooting short films, there is no way that I could get through a single shoot day with just one SSD. For example, take a look at this 1 minute of footage shot in 4K ProRes compared to this 1080p file. All codecs, camera settings are the exact same. The only difference is the resolution, and it is crazy how much more storage this footage takes up. Once I have all the footage recorded, I have to then drop it to my Drobo 5D, which is my hub where all the footage comes together. Now, I am absolutely a footage hog. I love hoarding every single file that I ever digitally create. So it is very hard for me to have to delete footage. Now, I currently have about 8 terabytes worth of storage on my Drobo 5D, and each project for a YouTube video, a full video review, is around 300 to 500 gigs, so it fills up very, very quickly. Just in the first month that I had the 4K camera, I had to buy 4 more terabytes than I previously had, which I thought would be way more than enough. And if you don't believe me, here's MKBHD answering a question I asked him at Team Crispy Live in LA a couple months ago about how he is able to store all of his red footage.
So this question's for Marquez. I just got into the 4K game about a month or two ago, and
That 4K game though.
And I've already had to buy about 6 or 7 more terabytes worth of storage. How the heck do you store that red footage, or do you delete it after you're done?
Yeah, I don't. So I have a 12 terabyte RAID sitting on my desk where I keep the finished product of every single video, and then I delete all the raw footage. I wish I could keep all of the footage and remanipulate it and bring it back and get better at grading the raw footage that I have, but I don't, so I don't have that footage. I have like 450 videos, just the finished product sitting around. But yeah, I do have, like you said, like 3 or 4 terabytes that I shoot to before I edit. That's just what comes with the territory.
So there you have it. There was a lot more to shooting 4K than just the camera itself. Are you ready for 4K? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.